said this one traded for my first big win. Jonathan Fink on the line tonight with a pack in hand and a story that bites. Old paper, new spark, name on the card. From basement deals to a full-on start. Collected and connected, collected and connected, trading the truth.
Hey, what's up? Jonathan Fink, Sports Card Collectors Club, and this is the Card Life Chronicles. And today we're going to rip a box of 2025 Topps Chrome football. Let's rip. So it's hard to believe it, but baseball is past the All-Star break, and the World Cup is come and gone, and the NFL teams are ramping up for training camp. And believe it or not, look at the schedule. We're actually only about 2 weeks away from the first preseason games. I'm starting to see fantasy football predictions and, round one draft stuff show up on my TikTok. And so it's the time, it's the vibe. And even though it's still warm outside, college teams are getting ready for the season. High school teams are starting to do their two-a-days, and it's getting ready it's football time. So I threw on my jersey. This is actually my Jamal Charles jersey, one of my old school Chiefs jerseys. And today we're just going to rip a blaster box of Topps Chrome. So let's see how we do. It's the National right now. Typically, the football card market kind of goes through a summer lull, and it picks up usually at the National. So this is the time of year when football cards become focus again. Topps flagship football coming up for the first time in a very, very long time is going to also release it, I think, in 3 weeks. Mendoza on the cover. He'll be the rookie chase card, of course. The high box, hey, Travis Kelce, IPC Travis Kelce, coming back for his 14th season. Cam Ward rookie card. Let's see how he does this year. Last year was not the greatest rookie class, let's be honest. So I'm really curious to see how this next one does. Here's Brandon Ayuk with a cool parallel with the football on it. All right, but so far those are busts. We'll keep going. I've had a lot of mixed results with Topps Chrome football this year. They've printed a lot of it. It's been hard to get good hits. There's Travis Kelce again, but I've had a few mega hits that have helped pay for the overall journey. I actually bought a lot of this stuff when it came out originally, and at my first couple of card shows, one in Lawrence and one in Olathe, Kansas, I actually had boxes on sale, and I sold a few. But as you can see, it's hard to pull the numbered cards. It's definitely hard to pull autos in this set. But there are actually, I think, some mega chase cards that have still not been hit in this set. So there still are some big money cards available if you're into that sort of thing. There's Bo Jackson, one of the all-time greats. Baseball, football. I mean, what a college football legend. So when I did my original pack opening series, I didn't show my face. I just kind of showed the cards. I wanted the focus to be on the cards. But I don't know. Maybe this is more entertaining. I don't know. You guys let me know in the chat below. Some Fink technology right there. Still using my phone, just using it as a second screen. And this way I can kind of talk to you guys. We're also live. So if you want to throw some comments in the chat, questions, thoughts, you name it. I mean, what are your thoughts about the National? I mean, I'm probably gonna go next year no matter what. Last year I was supposed to go and all my stuff got canceled. It's kind of a long story, whatever. It wasn't meant to be Sports Card God's intervention. But a lot of the videos that I see about the National are the long lines to get in. I'm wondering if you buy the VIP pass, does that get you in without those crazy lines? Or is everyone buying the VIP pass and then the VIP line's super long? I don't know. But it seems like once you get inside, it's like Disneyland for sports card collectors. Everyone's having the best time ever. And yeah, I gotta get action with that. Wasn't in the cards for this summer. Although I did go to the Las Vegas a couple weeks ago for the summer league with the NBA Top Shot community, and that was so awesome. Shout out to Paulie from the Collecting and Connecting Podcast Network for the invite and for interviewing me at the second event and putting me on a panel with the first event at Blondie's. So much fun. Here's Sam Donald with the I forget what this insert is called. Anyone remember what this is called? Could you believe it? 1, 2, 3, 4. That was the entire box. So first of all, you can see how fast you can rip through a blaster box of Topps Chrome football. Not a lot of packs, only 4 cards per pack. It's definitely been a shrinkflation situation with sports cards. Price inflation, prices have been rising per pack, per card, per box, and also you're getting less product per box. But I have mixed feelings about that. I feel like it's what corporations have to do. Corporations are designed to create profits. That's capitalism. That's a good thing. Whether you're public or private, you still have shareholders, and there is cost inflation. I'm sure there is higher cost to produce the cards, they also want to increase their profits every year. And the truth is, when they see the price of these boxes in the secondary market going for double what they MSRP'd at, why wouldn't they continue to raise prices until supply and demand finally meet? And my feeling is that unfortunately prices will continue to rise until consumers say they can't afford it anymore. They say no more, no mas, and the breakers stop breaking the stuff because it's not profitable. And then the pendulum's going to swing, and then you might start to see prices come down, and you might start to see more cards be added to every pack. You never know. The supply and demand economics in a free market capitalist society should move around. Now, whether we have that in sports cards right now is a different issue. But the truth is that the hobby is bigger than ever. I just saw a Ted Williams card on Card Ladder. I mean, the price chart looks like it's an AI, like NVIDIA, or anthropopic price chart, just straight parabolic hockey stick. That only ends one way, which is a correction. So not investment advice, but just be careful out there. I know that at the National, everyone's talking about the GOATs and the prices of Kobe and Jordan and Gretzky. They're all going to the moon right now. And you know what happened after the pandemic? You saw a major correction. Markets just go through cycles. And so even if we're in a long-term bull market, which I think we are, corrections are going to happen. And sometimes they're very significant. And don't forget, markets can be correlated. We always think about sports cards as a non-correlated asset class, like fine art or Bitcoin or precious metals. But the truth is, a lot of times, different markets, while they don't have the same, exact alpha beta situation or correlation, rising tides lift all boats. The tide pulls out, the boats are going to sink. So Bitcoin went from 120,000 now to 60,000. Silver went from 120 an ounce down to 60. You're seeing SanDisk. Look at the Korean stock market, just getting crushed right now. Pokemon prices have finally broken. Pokemon's been a mega bull market. Now maybe there's some factors of the 30th anniversary coming up, but the fact is that Pokemon prices, boxes, ETBs, and singles specifically have had major pullbacks. And so, are you telling me that the sports card market is so strong that it can buck that tide pulling out, where all the other markets are rolling over? Even the bond market. Look at the 10-year Treasury yield, 30-year Treasury yield; they're rising, which means, and bonds work like a seesaw. So when prices, yields go like this, up and down. So if yields are rising, that means the bond prices are going down. So watch those bond funds. A lot of people have their college 529 plans, in bond funds, and bond funds supposed to be safe and supposed to provide income. But if we go through an extremely high rising rate environment, look at the history of the market, the 1970s. Bond prices can lose money in the short term. Now, if you own individual bonds and you buy and hold them to maturity, no problem. But college 529 plans and 401ks, they're not in individual bonds. They're in bond mutual funds. So again, not investment advice, but the reason why I love the Pokemon market and the sports card market is because it's like the real stock market. And that's my day job. I'm a financial advisor. I've been investing in the markets for over 20 years. And I find there's a lot of similarities between the two markets, which I think is so awesome. I love it. In fact, I feel like sports cards and non-sports cards like Pokemon and V-Friends is actually more fun than the real stock market, because the real stock market, it's got all kinds of other stuff going on that you have to factor in, like, for example, wars in Iran. So anyway, let's wish for peace for the whole world. Let's pray for peace, and let's appreciate sports cards because they take our mind off of our troubles, and they give us, happiness and joy, which is one of the reasons why I love sports cards and I love being part of this hobby, now as much as ever. So anyway, this was an absolute blaster box bust, but that is a big part of ripping. You do it for the enjoyment. It's like gambling, right? But it's also entertainment. So if you really want to do this to make money, ripping wax is not the way to do it. You probably should be buying singles, but also look at the macroeconomics. If the rising tide is going up, that's good. The tide is pulling out. If we're at a peak, if you're starting to see cards like Ted Williams go straight up, what goes up must come down. It's just the nature of markets. So heads up on that. And maybe the Fanatics week with the National, it will actually signal the peak of the market right now. We'll see. So I'm not predicting that. She actually would prefer a nice, stabilized, slowly rising market. Like the Fed, 2% inflation, whatever. Anyway, I tease you. But yeah, this was a bust, but we'll move on to the next one. But thank you for joining me today for this Card Life Chronicles. I appreciate you, and I thank you, and God bless you. You guys take care. God bless.
He pulled a stain from a shoebox lid. Said this one traded for my first big win. Jonathan Fink on the line tonight, with a pack in hand and a story that bites. Old paper, new spark, name on the card. From basement deals to a full-on start.